Right, well, hi everybody. This is PUBG Mobile, and we're just waiting for the Vikendi map to load in. What was that all about? We had Vikendi yesterday on the PlayStation 4, and it's also available on PUBG Mobile. So I thought we'd dive in, do a quick video, see what it's like. Normally, PUBG Mobile is actually a little bit better than the consoles in terms of things like pop in and stuff. You're very limited by. Let's see where we're going to go. Where we're going to go. I don't know, let's go over there. Let's get away from everybody. Am I facing the right way? So let us have a look around the island. First impressions yesterday on the PlayStation 4. This is a great map. This is like Erangel Mark II. You know, it doesn't have the extremes of the other maps. We don't have the extremes change in verticality like we had on Miramar, and the extreme size of Miramar, and the extreme slowness, you know, and the extreme time it would take to play the game. Don't get me wrong, Miramar is probably one of my favourite maps. And we don't have the lack of different terrain and environments that you get in Sanhok, you know, where you're always fighting in the jungle, and as soon as you open fire, especially in squad, somebody else kind of runs into you, and you get blatted that way. This is very much sort of more down the middle of the road, like Erangel. Plenty of different environments to fight in. We've got some very big towns with loads of buildings. There's some very interesting places. There's spaceport to visit. Am I going to end up in the water here? I think we'll probably go down to this town. Um, there's a dinosaur theme park that you can go to as well, which is pretty cool. Um, there's like a vineyard, and numerous other places there's a castle, um, and they've all got much larger interiors than we've than previously seen. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually runs. A couple of new guns as well on PlayStation 4. I'm probably going to get the names wrong, but there was the G346 or something like that, which is a 5.56 assault rifle, and there was another one that I can't remember the name of. Right, little ump, thank you very much. The loot table on the PlayStation 4 was skewed quite a lot towards submachine guns. And that's a bot. Probably was, wasn't it? Let's see what goodies he's got though. Maybe the bots are put in PUBG Mobile too. Oh gosh, bloody hell! You got loads of good stuff to help you loot. Did he ever? Is it put the three times on my? Put the three times on my ump. No. Let's just move away from that gunfire. Yeah, so very positive first impressions. Um, got a couple of chicken dinners. The only problem on the PlayStation 4, and I think it's the same for the Xbox as well, there was only squad queues, squad lobbies. So you had to go in and play with randoms, which is never. Well, sometimes it can be cool, but a lot of the time it's a bit of a painful experience because randoms often want to drop hot all the time, and you'll know if you've watched any of my gunplay. I'm definitely not a hot dropper. Right, let's sort out our gear. So we want to put the three times on the AK. Don't need two of those. Oh, somebody else outside. Let's go and heal up. could use bandages, couldn't we? Rather than wasting our med kits. I felt that the circle movement was probably a little bit slow. Could have done with speeding up a bit. There was definitely a lack of vehicles on the map. Had to go on the snowmobile and UAZ. One thing I kind of did have a bit of a query about on the PlayStation, which I was thinking about this morning when I was having my cup of coffee, was lots of the times when I got killed yesterday, it was headshots with bolt action rifles like M24s and Kar 98s. So it was almost like there was more of those around. Let's start wandering towards the centre of the circle. But it's all very nice. It's very smooth. Look how smooth this is. I'm always amazed. I mean, I have a low-end Motorola phone. I don't know what it is. A Play something. Motorola G, I think. So it's not like the bottom Motorola phone, but it's pretty low. And yet this third-person shooter plays very well. I have to admit, I have the problem that when you start getting into gunfights and people are jumping around, my frame rate tanks. But it's enjoyable just to run around and play. Still 60 people alive there. This looks like an interesting compound. The other thing I'm not quite sure about where Vikendi fits in with the other maps in terms of. Do we need any more ammo? Whether it's a sort of, whether you class it as a large or I mean I definitely think it's the similar sort of map to Erangel. It's definitely not a Sandhawk. Looking for a hollow or a red dot, aren't I, really? Alright, so what's that? M16. No, we'll stick with the. How many? Don't I have any 5.56? We'll pick up this 5.56 anyway. Let's get that suppressor on my submachine gun. Some of these buildings are very tall. I'm sure we went in one yesterday that was 4 stories. Alright, this is interesting. So what we'll probably do now is swap to the M16 because it's a better ranged weapon than the AK. Alright, we've got 8 times scope, so if we find a. Alright, here we go. So we've got a 3 times scope in the M16. Let's put the hollow onto there. Let's get rid of that 2 times scope. Don't need the flash hider anymore. Right, let's have a look at this circle. Right, let's move in towards the centre. So yeah, very enjoyable. So if you haven't downloaded it already, download. I did have a little bit of a bug. I don't know whether it was just my installation of PUBG Mobile. I've got some more buildings here. Someone just beep. Where I downloaded Sandhawk. Downloaded. Did I just pick up some bells? Jingle bells. How cool. I downloaded Vikendi, and yet when I went to try and play it, it said you haven't downloaded the map, and it was kind of stuck on a random selection. So I had to re-download, and on the map selection screen there was the maps I hadn't got installed, Miramar and Sanhok, were in Scar. Nice. Were highlighted yellow. The writing as though I had them, as though I was trying to select them to play them. I couldn't deselect them. Let's move away. So I had to re-download Sanhok and then reselect Vikendi, and let me just download and play this map. You're seeing some of these frame drops or freezes that my phone does. The Motorola G series is notorious for freezing every now and again, just for like half a second. But obviously, in a first-person shooter, that isn't ideal. But anyway, what I do if I tell you my sort of sign off before I get killed. So obviously, if you enjoy the video, press like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll carry on playing. That way, if I die, I don't have to repeat it. But yeah, if you haven't tried PUBG Mobile yet on your mobile phone, it is free. It's a really good shooter, and don't worry about touch controls. You do get used to the touch controls. I kind of have my suspicions that when you're getting into the top 10 situation, there's lots of people playing with various attachments on their phones or mouse and keyboards. But saying that, I was watching some of the PUBG Mobile Invitational, and you know the good players, they play amazingly with their fingers using various claw type grips. So go now. Up there. What have we got here? What are we coming up on? The villa. Ooh. It's probably somewhere where lots of people go, so we should probably avoid it. My med pack's ready, just in case we get in a firefight. It's a big structure. 25 people left. If you've ever fancied streaming games like, well, PUBG Mobile, off your mobile phone, it is actually incredibly easy to do. You just download the YouTube gaming app. And you can either stream it, or what I'm doing... Where's my marker gone? Somewhere over there. So my marker's there. I should be able to see it. Oh, there it is. Let's just continue our walk towards the centre of the circle. I kind of do this method because if you're moving towards the middle of the circle, really only we need to go about a third or a quarter of the way in. When the next circle appears, you're kind of still fairly safe. But you see how slow the circle's coming in. Incredibly slow. Oh. Why is there a jeep there? Tell you what, if I get in this jeep... Ooh. take you to Dino Park. Right, so Dino Park is there. Let's go have a look at Dino Park. Am I about to go outside of the circle? I think I am, aren't I? Which isn't a bad thing. Right, here we go. Now, I'm not going to get out. We're just going to drive around. Look, there's the Helter Skelter. Or the roller coaster, sorry. Where's the big dinosaur? There's the car park. Oh, there he is. Let's drive up to him. T-Rex. Now, Mr. T-Rex. Fantastic. Got some good gunfights in here yesterday. Right, let's see. Oh no, we're not outside the circle. In fact, where would be the quietest place to go? Probably about there, I reckon. As always, basic strategy in PUBG. If you want to drop hot, just drop to one of the named towns on the flight path. If you want to drop quiet, drop far from the plane, away from the named towns on the flight path. Very lucky to find this UAS, unless the loot table for vehicles is slightly different on Vikendi, on mobile to PS4. Right, we should have a fairly quiet route in now. Blue's coming in. We're right for ammo, we're right for meds. It's a long way away. In fact, that was probably coming from Dino Park, wasn't it? Oh no, it's coming from north. What's there? Well, we'll see what the next circle does and then decide whether to take the vehicle or not. Yeah, a lot of M24s and Car 98s yesterday, especially M24s. Got a headshot loads of times. Level 3 helmets were back in the map as well. Supply drops. Right, okay. I've only got 35 seconds. We better take the car. If we go to somewhere like... Let's have a look on the map. Actually, I reckon somewhere like there is the safest place to be now. We've got loads of fuel left. Where's the radio off? Oop. See, you're pretty safe on Vikendi to, if you're in a vehicle, you don't have to worry that much about where you're going. Obviously, there's walls and things like that that will get in the way. But in terms of, when you're on Miramar, if you take the wrong turn, you can you can definitely be knackered because there's a mountain in the way or something. It's pretty close. No, there was a vehicle over here, wasn't there? Oh, it's going back to Villa. Oh. Gunfire that way. How long? Oh, we've only got 45 seconds again. Oh. Where to park? It could be that Vikendi's got dynamic. My radio's back on. Dynamic circles like Sandhawk. Do I really want to? Where do I want to go? There's 2 supply drops here, for God's sake. I only get killed now. You knew I was going to get killed. There's people people camping those supply drops, wasn't it? It was just a stupid thing to do. Anyway, there we go. So Vikendi on mobile, it's there. It's downloadable. It's free. It plays well. It's smooth. It's great. It's very similar to Erangel, and it's definitely worthy of your time. So anyway, that's done from me, and I'll see you again soon.